So I'm a professional listener for a living. No, actually I'm a physical therapist, but here's the thing. I have the luxury of listening to women talk the whole hour. They can talk. I can educate them, but they can tell me all their grievances. They can tell me all the problems. We can make a plan to fix it. This is why I think every woman needs a physical therapist to be an advocate and be on their side. Every woman needs a healthcare provider that listens to them and hears them. Now listen, your primary care doc, they're super important, but they don't have as much time to listen like I do. I also am a person to help you, walk alongside you, and make a plan. Now, if you don't do your exercises that week, I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to make you feel bad. What I am going to ask you is what got in the way of doing what you wanted to do. And one of the most common things I hear from women is that they don't have time. They have their child care issues, they have their job, or they feel so sad, they're so in pain, and they're so lethargic, they can't do it. It feels overwhelming. And if that sounds like you, we need to modify something so that you can do an incremental step each week. So, if you feel like it's all very overwhelming, we'll pick one thing to change each week. Every time I see a patient, we pick one thing to move forward on. And if you feel so good that you can do a couple things at once, good. But that's not how most people work. I encourage my patients to do a couple things consistently. And one of them is to schedule in your day where you're going to exercise. Because if you don't plan it, it's not going to happen. Your day gets away from you, you're busy, you're tired, you don't feel good. I encourage you to put it into your schedule like a business meeting and show up for yourself like you would for every other person. Now, I get that you're busy. I 100% get that. I also get that you feel like a sloth or a koala and you have zero energy. I get that to the depths of my soul. I get that. But the thing is this. Because I take care of women for a living, I watch what happens when we become sick and deconditioned and we stop moving. The more we stop moving, the more sick and broken we feel, and it's kind of a bad spike. It's a bad spiral. We don't want to go that way. I also know, according to science, after 35, I'm not making new collagen. My hormones are going in the toilet. It's the peak my bone density is going to be, and I've got greater than the rest, half of my life left to go, and I don't want to go down losing 1 to 2% of my bone and muscle mass each year. I'm going to have to do something different. It is not always fun. It is not always easy. It may or may not even be simple. But the best exercise you can do is one you actually like. I am always looking for the best exercise for my patient. I ask them, what do you actually want to do? What do you think you can do? And if it's something is tolerable and you can do that, that's your thing. That's your thing. Now, I've been looking at a lot of research articles on women and exercise, and consistently across the board, the number one reason women cite that they don't exercise is they don't have time. So, if I can encourage you to find a spot to make a small bit of exercise, it could be 10 minutes. If you felt crazy and you could do 30, do. It could be walking. It could be doing an exercise video. It could be doing yoga once a week. It could be yoga 3 times a week, doing 10 minutes. But movement is medicine. And even though we have all this amazing technology in this world, if we don't move our bodies, we're going to be broken as heck. And I witness this in my everyday life. I am guilty of this. I'm also tired. I'm a manual therapist. You know me on TikTok as an educator, but in my clinic, I'm standing all day, I'm moving, I'm working with women, and by the time I get home, I'm exhausted. I found for me, if I'm going to do my exercise, as soon as I get home, I can't sit down because the moment I stop. So I change my shoes, put on my walking shoes, listen to a podcast, and I try to make it fun. And once I get out there and start doing it, it's not so bad, and I do feel better later. Hit the plus sign and follow for more women's health and wellness tips. Bye.